Hi, this is HardballRetro. Welcome to the Retrodome. This video is a companion to a series of articles on my HardballRetro.com website. The main article is located under Retro Replays category and is titled Hardball Retro Replays, Sim Seasons with Original and Actual Half-Decade Rosters. The original rosters are based on the research from my book Hardball Retrospective, where I assigned every Major League ball player to the first team that signed them to a professional MLB contract. Each player remains on their assigned original teams for the duration of their careers. I take the top 40 players for each roster based on win shares, using each player's best season in the 5-year period. I run the simulation for at least 10 seasons in each half-decade. The team with the highest victory total during a given season receives 1 point. If 2 or more teams tie for the lead, each receives a half point. The team with the most points after 10 seasons is declared the winner. However, if no team led or tied for the lead in at least 4 out of 10 seasons, the simulation continues until one team reaches that criteria. The main article includes a full explanation of my methodology, along with links to each replay's recap and season-by-season results. Okay, we are looking at the 1960 through 64 Hardball Retro Originals. So let's jump right on into Season 1, look at the season overview, and I'll explain a couple things before we get too far into this. Okay, the first thing is that we have the season replay that we're on in the upper corner here, so 6001. So then for each subsequent replay, it'll be 6002, 003, and so forth. And that's how I keep track of what replay I'm on. Quick note about the 60 through 64. You'll notice that the expansion teams are missing here. And also, based on the number of games, you'll see that I use the 154 game schedule from 1960, the as played schedule. That's why you'll see sometimes a difference in the number of games played. The expansion teams, there weren't enough original players in those 3 or 4 seasons, depending on if we're talking about the Angels, the second edition of the Senators, and the Mets and the Astros. There were not enough original players to fill out a roster, so those players, if any of their best seasons came in 61 through 64, they will show up on the Hardball Retro Original season replay from the 1965 through 69 half decade. So with that out of the way, let's look for the team with the most wins, and that appears to be the Orioles with 104. So they get a point. The Yankees finished a distant second in the American League, 18.5 back with 86 victories. The Orioles had a positive 187 run differential, and the Yankees 162, so that's pretty good there. The Red Sox finished third, the only other team above 500 in the AL. And other notes would be the Kansas City Athletics with 102 losses and a negative 242 run differential. National League, the Cubbies by a half game over the Cardinals. Cardinals with a pretty good run diff there. We've got the Brewers and Dodgers tied with 83 victories, the Giants with 80, everybody else below 500, and the Pirates with a 100-loss season here. Let's look at the leaderboard. American League batting leaders, we have Norm Cash with a 329 average, ahead of Lee Thomas of the Yankees, Ted Williams in his final campaign for the Red Sox, teammate Carl Yastrzemski at 310, and Harmon Killebrew at 307. And this is interesting, Killebrew finishing 5th in these 3 categories. So heck of a year for Mr. Killebrew there. Home run and RBI lead goes to Mickey Mantle with 56 and 135. Norm Cash, runner-up with 46 dingers. Then we have Rocky Colavito, Boog Powell, and Killebrew. And RBIs after Mantle, we have Bob Allison of the Twins, Norm Cash of the White Sox, Roy Sievers of the Orioles, and Killebrew. NL batting leader, Wally Moon of the Cardinals, 336, slightly ahead of Tommy Davis, Dodgers, 331. Bill D. White of the Giants, 316. And Richie Ashburn and Frank Howard. Home run lead, Jim Gentile of the Dodgers, 55. Two better than Willie McCovey. Frank Howard third, followed by Jim Ray Hart and Eddie Matthews. RBI lead, Frank Howard, 138. One better than his teammate Jim Gentile. Ken Boyer of the Cardinals third with 124. And then Eddie Matthews of the Braves and William Covey of the Giants. AL pitching leaders, Joe Horlin of the White Sox, 2.42, takes the ERA crown. Slightly better than Whitey Ford of the Yankees. John Satoris of the Tigers. Chuck Estrada of the Orioles, and his teammate Don Larson. Larson leads the league with 20 victories, well ahead of Jack Fisher, Bill Stafford, Chuck Estrada, and Ted Bousfield. Dick Radatz, 42 saves for the Red Sox, 3 better than Wes Stock of the Orioles. Followed up by Billy Heft of the Tigers, Bill Daly of the Indians, and Barry Latman of the White Sox. Dick Ellsworth leading the National League with a 2.06 ERA and 19 victories. Billy McCool second in both categories. Larry Jackson third in both categories. Then we have Eddie Fisher and Bob Henley rounding out the ERA leaders, and Mike McCormick and Denny LeMaster rounding out the win leaders. 47 saves for Ron Peranowski leading the way over Ed Roebuck of the Dodgers, Hoyt Wilhelm of the Braves, Roy Face of the Phillies, and Sammy Ellis of the Reds. Top vote getters, Mickey Mantle, 402 over Norm Cash, Harmon Killebrew, Rocky Colavito, Bob Allison. That was for AL MVP. Now AL Cy Young, Don Larson, well ahead of his teammates Jack Fisher and Chuck Estrada, Bill Stafford and Whitey Ford. And NL MVP, we have Jim Gentile over teammate Frank Howard, Willie McCovey third, Frank Robinson, Eddie Matthews. And NL Cy Young, we have Dick Ellsworth by 35 votes over Billy McCool, Larry Jackson, Denny LeMaster, and Mike McCormick. All right, that does it for Season 1 overview. Let's look at our special events here. And again, just to note that we're running Digital Diamond Baseball version 11.2.9, version 12 due out soon. This is early April of 24 when I'm creating this video, so you might see me running version 12 in the near future. So the Orioles take the early lead in this one, but obviously a lot more ground to cover. So we'll see how this shakes out. All right, scroll down a bit here. Let's get to the triple plays. Went right past it. There we go. 8 triple plays. Home runs. Mantle. Smith for the Indians. I'm going to say Al Smith. Al E. Smith. Jim Gentile of the Dodgers. Roger Maris for the Indians. Johnson for the Phillies. Let's jump into that one real quick because I'm guessing that's Alex Johnson, but I just want to double check. And another Mantle there. So do a quick peek here. Probably player of the game if he had 6 hits and 3 homers. Alex Johnson, 64. There it is. 6 for 6. Wow. Nice little box score to check out there. And got the average up to 405 with that one. That was in August, so. All right. Billy Moran also with 6 hits. Skip past the RBIs, runs scored. Stolen bases, Brock with 3. The lone player to steal 3 bags in this replay. 4 guys hitting for the cycle. And 5 inside the park home runs. Strikeout games, only 1 with 12, and that was Bob Gibson. And no hitters would have fit in here, so there were no hitters. We're going to move on to season 2 then. Season 2 goes to the New York Yankees with 95 victories. They were 6.5 better than the Indians. And Baltimore drops down to 3rd. White Sox in 4th. Red Sox 500. And the A's avoid the 100-loss season there. In the National League, we've got a 3-way tie as far as victories is concerned, which is based on scheduling quirk here. The Braves would take the title by winning percentage. The Cubbies with 80 wins, and everybody else below 500. But even the Phillies only 88 losses there. So, all right. League leaders, we have Norm Cash, 329, tied with Tony Oliva of the Twins. Yastrzemski, 327. Norm Seaburn and Pete Ward of the Orioles. Roger Maris, 62 round trippers for Cleveland. Well ahead of Ted Williams with 41. Killebrew, Bill Skowron, and Tony Oliva. Skowron leading the league, however, with 137 RBI over Maris, Johnny Callison of the White Sox, Teddy Ballgame, and Norm Cash. National League batting leaders, Vada Pinson, 330. Curt Flood, 319. Joe Torre for the Milwaukee Braves, 317. Ron Santo and Dick Allen. NL batting leader, Jim Gentile, 47, tied with Willie Mays. Eddie Matthews, Hank Aaron, Orlando Cepeda. Then RBIs, we have Frank Howard by 2 over Willie Mays, Jim Gentile 3rd, Eddie Matthews, and Dick Stewart, Dr. Strangeglove. AL pitching leaders, early win for the Twins, 2.81. We've got Louis Tiant, 2.99. Everybody else over the 3 ERA mark. Ford, Boughton, Larson. And in the wins category, we have Ron Taylor for the Indians with 16. Boughton, Gerba, Stafford, Larson. Save leaders, Tom Morgan, 42. Wes Stock, 35. Then we have Dick Radatz, Bill Daly, and Billy Heft. NL pitching leaders, Bo Belinsky of the Pirates, 2.56. Sammy Ellis, Dennis Bennett, Larry Jackson, Ron Hardball. And win leaders, Billy Muffett, the Cubs, 18. Bob Henley, 15. Roger Craig, the Dodgers. Mike McCormick of the Giants, and Dennis Bennett of the Phillies. Save leaders, Perinoski, 32. Roebuck, 32. Art Fowler of the Giants, 27. Roy Face, Sammy Ellis. Top vote getters, AL MVP, Roger Maris, over Bill Skowron, Tony Oliva, Johnny Callison, Norm Cash. AL Cy Young goes to Ron Taylor over Jim Bouton, Bill Stafford, Eli Gerba, Chuck Estrada. NL MVP, Willie Mays over Jim Gentile, Ron Santo, Frank Robinson, Hank Aaron. And the NL Cy Young goes to the Cubs, Billy Muffett with 205 votes, 15 better than Bob Henley. Mike McCormick third, Larry Sherry, Roger Craig. All right, let's look at our special events from season 2. So we have Baltimore with a point and the Yankees with a point. All right, let's take a look here. Scrolling on down. Triple plays, 5 of them. Home runs, 3 homer games. Harmon Killebrew, Orlando Cepeda, Del Crandall. Lita Pinson, 6-hit game here. Scroll a bit. Lou Brock, 3 steals. Again, base running not emphasized that highly in this particular half decade. Hitting for the cycle, 5 guys. In the park homers, 6 of them. Strikeout games, Billy McCool with 13. No hitters, here we go. Pirates, Lee, Bob Lee, I believe. Find out here in a second. Bob Lee, electric stuff in pinpoint command. He gave up no hits, no runs, 11 Ks and 3 walks. Facing the Phillies, we will mention the plus sign next to a player's last name. A couple of them here. That means that they're a fill-in. I use fill-ins when a team doesn't have enough players to fill out the active roster. And what I mean there is I have a minimum cutoff of at least 5 win shares for a player to make the active 25-man roster for a team. So if a team falls short there, I will pull from the list of players who failed to make it onto their own original team's 40-man roster. There are usually a number of guys that barely fail to make the cut for their team, and I don't want to totally discard them. So it kind of works out. Like in this instance, the Phillies probably didn't have a catcher to fill the slot, either the starting catcher or they didn't have a backup catcher. And I do require that each team has 2 catchers on their active roster for obvious reasons. So at any rate, that's why we have fill-ins. You'll see some fill-ins on pitching staffs as well. But that's all that means, is that Doug Clemens is not an original Philly. He came from another team, but I just had to fill, same with Foils here, I had to fill in a gap on their roster. So that being said, Harkness drew a walk, and Ashburn 2 bases on balls for the Phillies. Not a very good batting order for Philly, which I think is why they finished last. Who did damage for the Pirates in this game? Bob Skinner, 2 hits. A bunch of guys with 2 hits. Cannizzaro. They actually have a couple fill-ins for the Pirates here. Cannizzaro. Or no, well, 1 fill-in. Grote with 2 hits. Stargell with 2 hits. Cardwell didn't pitch awful, but he took the loss for the Phillies. And there's Lee's outing. 9 hitless innings. So there you go. All right. Let's go to season 3 here. Cruising right along. Let's see if the National League team can be the top winner. A couple from the American League so far. Yankees 96 victories. Oh, that's 3 better than the Dodgers, so the Yankees pull ahead. They now have 2 points to the Orioles 1. And 240 run differential. That's gonna help matters, definitely. The A's with 100 losses again. The Red Sox second here, 3.5 back, 92 wins, so that's their best performance so far. Orioles in third. White Sox finish 500, and the others are all below 500 there. In the NL, the Dodgers 2 games better than the Reds. Giants 13 back, and everybody else below 500. And the Phillies are in last. All right, batting leaders, Norm Cash again, 340. Boog Powell second here, 331. Yastrzemski, 322. Bobby Richardson making an appearance here, 319. And Tony Oliva, 316. Mickey Mantle, 55 jacks, 15 more than Boog Powell. Followed by Norm Cash, Harmon Killebrew, Jimmy Hall of the Twins, finishing 5th in homers and RBIs, so nice season for Hall. Bill Skowron, again the RBI leader by 2 over his teammate Mantle. Norm Cash 3rd, Roy Sievers 4th, and Hall 5th. NL batting, we have Frank Robinson, 336. Roberto Clemente for the Dodgers, 320. Tony Gonzalez of the Reds, 314. Ron Santo of the Cubs, and Veda Pinson of the Reds. Jim Gentile, 51 round trippers and 123 ribbies, leading the way, both categories. McCovey, 43. Ken Boyer, Dick Stewart, Frank Robinson. And in the RBI column, we have, after Gentile, we have Boyer, Stewart, Cepeda, and Robinson. AL pitching leaders is Hank Aguirre, 251. Dean Chance, 271. Billy Heft, Ralph Terry, and Wally Bunker. Whitey Ford, 20 wins. Jim Bouton, 17. So the Yankees topping the list here. Ted Bousfield, 15. Eli Gerba, and Bruce Howard of the White Sox. Save lead, Dick Radatz, Bill Daly, Wes Stock, Bobby Shantz of the A's, and Tom Morgan of the Yankees. NL pitching, Billy McCool, 2.15, better than Juan Marichal, Don Drysdale, Sandy Koufax, and Sammy Ellis. Koufax and Marichal tied for the league lead with 16 wins. Billy McCool with 15, Billy Muffet 15, Johnny Padres 14. Ed Roebuck 43 saves, Sammy Ellis 35, Roy Face, Art Fowler, and Ron Peranowski. Top vote getters, AL MVP goes to Mickey Mantle over Norm Cash, Bill Moose Skowron, Jim Fregosi, and Roy Sievers. AL Cy Young is Whitey Ford over teammate Jim Bouton, Bruce Howard third, Ted Bousfield, Eli Gerba of the Red Sox. NL MVP goes to Jim Gentile by 6 votes over Frank Robinson. Ken Boyer, Orlando Cepeda, Dick Stewart, and NL Cy Young, 5 votes separated Juan Marichal from Billy McCool. Sandy Koufax finished 10 back. Billy Muffet and Stan Williams of the Dodgers. All right, that's our Season 3 overview. Let's look at our special events here. So the Yankees 2 points, Orioles 1 point through 3 seasons. Okay, there we go. Check out our special events. Triple plays, 6 of them. Home runs, Oliver of the Cardinals with 3 and McCovey with 3. I'm going to triple check that. Which Oliver is it? I think Bob? No, Gene Oliver. Gene Oliver. There's a lot of Olivers in this time frame, so make sure we get that right. So Gene Oliver with 3 and McCovey with 3. Nellie Fox, 6 hits. Oh, the A's had 20 hits in that game. Interesting. Stolen bases, Maury Wills stole 3 bags. Okay. Cycle, only 2 of them. In the Park Homer, only 2 of them. Strikeout events, Koufax with 14 was the high. No hitters. No hitter by Howard of the White Sox. Let's take a look at that one. Bruce Howard. No hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 7 Ks, 9 innings. All right. So the Indians somehow scored a run against. That's Floyd Robinson, not Frank. So 3 walks. Al Smith, Ken Retzner, Floyd Robinson. Gordy Coleman knocked in the run for the Indians. So they weren't shut out, but they were no hit. The White Sox offense came from Norm Cash and fill-in Ken McMullen with a 4-for-4 game homer and 5 RBIs. Here's Howard. No hits, 1 unearned run, 3 walks, 7 Ks. All right, that's going to wrap up season number 3 here. Okay, season number 4. Let's see where we're at here. Okay, season 4, Yankees 103, Dodgers 89. So Yankees, I believe that's the 3rd straight season that the Yankees have the most wins. So I'm sensing a little bit of a pattern here. 291 run differential, that's pretty good. Boston distant 2nd place. Orioles above 500, everybody else sub 500 in the American League. And then in the National, we've got the Dodgers at 89 wins, 4 games better than the Braves. The Giants above 500, and everybody else is sub 500 there. All right, let's take a look at the American League leaders for season 4. Batting, we have Norm Cash of the White Sox with a 354 batting average, well ahead of Ted Williams, Pete Runnels, Bobby Richardson, and Brooks Robinson. Home run leaders, Mickey Mantle, actually home run and RBI lead, Mickey Mantle, 51 and 123. Roger Maris, 2nd in homers for the Indians, 41. Teammate Rocky Colavito with 40. Bob Allison of the Twins, 39. Jimmy Hall of the Twins, 34. RBIs, besides Mantle, we have Allison, Roy Sievers of the Orioles, Jimmy Hall, and Brooks Robinson. NL batting. The batting title goes to Stan the Man Musial, 337 over Tommy Davis of the Dodgers. Pretty tight race here. Hank Aaron, 3rd at 331. Then we have Frank Robinson and Orlando Cepeda. Home run lead, Hank Aaron, 55. Jim Gentile of the Dodgers, 54. Ernie Banks, Felipe Alou, and Felix Mantilla of the Braves, 36 bombs. RBI lead, Jim Gentile, 143 over Hank Aaron, 126. Ken Boyer, 123 for the Cardinals. Felipe Alou, and Mantilla again. AL pitching, got Whitey Ford with a 1.97 ERA. Al Downing, his teammate, next at 2.03. We have Lee Stange, Pedro Ramos, both of the Twins, and Gary Peters of the White Sox, finishing 5th. Bill Stafford, 19 victories, leading the way over Ron Taylor of the Indians, Bill Fisher of the White Sox, Jack Fisher of the Orioles, and Don Larson, also of the Orioles. Save lead, Dick Radatz, Red Sox, 45 saves, 10 ahead of Wes Stock. And we have Mike Fornellis, Billy Heft, and Bill Daly. The farther back we go in time, the more my name pronunciations might be off a bit. Just my wheelhouse is kind of the 80s and through the present day. So some of the old timers, I may not have some of their last names pronounced correctly. I apologize. NL pitching leaders: Sandy Koufax, Don Notabart, Larry Jackson, Dick Ellsworth, Billy McCool. Win lead: Denny LeMaster, 18, Mike F. McCormick of the Giants with 17, Don Drysdale, Juan Marichal, and Tony Cloninger. Save lead: Roy Face, 32, tied with, four-way tie. Okay, we got Face of the Phillies, Art Fowler of the Giants, Bob Lee of the Pirates, Ed Roebuck of the Dodgers, all with 32 saves. Sammy Ellis, a distant fifth, with 19 for the Reds. Leading vote getters: AL MVP, Mickey Mantle, nearly, about 50 better than Bob Allison. Norm Cash, Roy Sievers, Rocky Colavito. AL Cy Young goes to Bill Stafford over Ron Taylor. Al Downing, Whitey Ford, and Don Larson. NL MVP, tight race. Hank Aaron gets the nod over Jim Gentile, followed by Ken Boyer, Felipe Alou, and Ernie Banks. And NL Cy Young, Mike McCormick by 5 votes over Denny LeMaster, Don Drysdale, Don Notabart, and Tony Cloninger. All right, let's see the reports, special events. Here we go. Let's see who did what here. Okay, let's scroll down a bit here. Double plays, triple plays. There we go. 4 triple plays. 3 homer games. Dick Allen, Roger Maris, Curry on the Phillies. I'll have to look that one up. Cepeda again. Felipe Alou, Vic Wertz, Woody Held, and Brown on the Indians. And I'm looking up Curry, and I'll double check who Brown is there too. Tony Curry. All right. That name doesn't ring a bell to me. Brown on the Indians. Dick Brown, 3 for 4, 3 homers, 7 RBIs. Alrighty. So no 4 homer games. 6 hit games: Johnny Romano and Bob Allison. RBIs, not worried about that. Runs scored. Stolen bases, got a handful of guys with 3 steals in the game. 4 of those out of 6 were Maury Wills. The others were Rich Rollins and Tommy Davis, it looks like. Errors, not concerned with that. In the park homers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of those. Ks in a game, couple of 13 strikeout games. And there were no hitters in this particular season. All right. Moving on. Season number 5. All right, Yankees again. 5 seasons, Yankees have won 4 of them, 97 wins. Got the Orioles distant second, Twins above 500, Red Sox at 500, everybody else below. Braves, Cardinals, basically a virtual tie. The Braves with a half-game lead. Giants 5 back, everybody else below 500. All right. AL batting, we've got Norm Cash, 384 average for the White Sox. Pete Runnels, Jim Pearsall, Tony Oliva, Carl Yastrzemski, all hitting well above 300 in this particular replay. Mickey Mantle, RBIs, home runs and RBIs, 59 jacks, 140 ribbies. Killebrew, second on both lists, 53 and 132. Cash, third on both lists, 51 and 126. Rounding out the home run leaderboard, Maris, 43, Ted Williams, 36. And RBI leaderboard, Landis of the White Sox with 111, Jim Landis, and Bob Allison, 110 for the Twins. All right, you've got NL batting leaders, Wally Moon by a couple of points over Veda Pinson here. Moon for the Cardinals. Lee May of the Braves, 318. Tommy Davis and Dick Grote. NL batting, Willie Mays, Dick Stewart, 47 jacks. Aaron, 42. Cepeda, 37. Boyer, 36. RBI lead, Dick Stewart, Pirates, 129 over Mays, 125. Boyer, 119. Aaron, 115. And Frank Howard, 108. AL pitching leaders, Gary Peters, 1.98 ERA for the White Sox. Jim Archer of the Yankees, 2.25. Bob Bruce of the Tigers, 250. Chuck Stobbs for the Red Sox, 276. And Joe Bonikowski of the Twins, 304. So definitely some names we haven't seen yet. Don Larson, 18 wins. And then not too many guys winning a lot of ball games here. Archer and Boesfield with 14, Stobbs with 12, Bruce with 11. Wow. Tom Morgan, 41 saves. Dick Radatz, 35. Stock, 34. Daly, 31. Bobby Shantz of the A's, 31. NL pitching. Got Dave Wickersham of the Pirates, 1.91 ERA. Billy McCool, 209. Jim Brewer, 213. Don Drysdale, 218. Sammy Ellis, 258. Win leader, Bob Gibson with 18 over Juan Marichal. Larry Jackson, Tony Cloninger, Denny LeMaster. Hoyt Wilhelm, 37 saves, tops the leaderboard there. Art Fowler with 30, Roy Face, Ed Roebuck, 28 apiece, Sammy Ellis, 26. Top vote getters, MVP, Mantle by 20 over Norm Cash, Harmon Killebrew, Tony Oliva, Jim Fregosi. AL Cy Young, got Don Larson with 210 over Jim Archer, Chuck Stobbs, Ted Boesfield, Bob Bruce. NL MVP goes to Willie Mays over Dick Stewart, Hank Aaron, Ken Boyer, Frank Howard. And NL Cy Young, Bob Gibson by 40 votes over Juan Marichal. We have Larry Jackson, Tony Cloninger, and Dave Wickersham. Let's look at our special events page here for season 5. Shaping up as a runaway for the Yankees. We'll see if anybody can come through with a victory here. But we're halfway home, and they're definitely the dominant squad. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody can mount it. Any type of challenge at this point. And even without Maris on the team and some other folks, Larson's on a different team, so on. They still had a ton of talent oozing out of their minor league system. And all right, let's see, what do we got here? Scroll down a bit. Double plays, triple plays, 5 triple plays. Home runs in a game, Pete Ward, Ted Williams, Hank Aaron, Bob Tillman, Ron Hansen, and Norm Cash. All right, hits in a game, Minoso, Richardson with 6, skipping past ribbies and runs scored. Stolen bases, 3 in a game, K-line, Wills, Taylor. Not much going on the base paths here. Cycles, 4 cycles. That's right, we didn't have any cycles last time. In the park homers, 6 of them. Strikeouts in the game, only 2 guys with 12. And no hitters. So that will do that for season 5. All right. Okay, here we go. Season number 6. 6006. Yankees 103. Cardinals 89. Yankees again, another victory. So 5 out of the 6 seasons, the Yankees have led the charge. Indians 15.5 back. 87 wins though. Orioles, Red Sox above 500. Twins at 500. Yankees with a 247 positive run differential, and the Cardinals with a 221 run differential, so you can see why they're winning. Cardinals finished 2.5 in front of the Giants, and then we got the Braves And the Reds at 500. Everybody else sub 500. All right, we've got batting leaders. Got Runnels, 322. Vignoso, 320 for the Indians. And Runnels is for the Twins, if I didn't mention that. Yaz, 314. Mantle and Rich Rollins. Home run lead, Mantle, 69 homers and 149 RBIs, leading the way. Colavito runner-up in both categories there with 58 and 133. Boog Powell next, 57 and 126. Roger Maris, 51 and 113. And Killebrew fifth, 38 homers. Jimmy Hall fifth with 99 RBI. NL batting, we have Wally Moon, 360. Stan Musial, 336. Dick Allen, Dick Grote, and Lou Brock. Home run leaders, Frank Robinson, Jim Gentile, Hank Aaron, Frank Howard, and Eddie Matthews. RBI lead, Ken Boyer, a little bit ahead of Frank Robinson, then Jim Gentile, Frank Howard, and Dick Allen. Okay, AL pitching leaders, Whitey Ford, 1.8, well ahead of Tom Sturdivant's 2.44 for the Yankees also. John Satoris, Don Larson, and Chuck Estrada. Whitey Ford, 22 victories, 6 better than Chuck Estrada, Ralph Terry, Jim Bouton, and Bill Fisher. Tom Morgan of the Yankees, 41 saves, ahead of Bill Daly, Billy Heft, Wes Stock, Barry Latman. NL pitching, Sandy Koufax, 1.57 ERA, also the win leader with 16. Chris Short, 1.91 for the Phillies. Dennis Bennett of the Phillies, third. Paul Toth for the Cardinals, and Gene Conley of the Braves, rounding out the ERA leaderboard. Besides Koufax on the win list, we've got Eddie Fisher and Juan Marichal of the Giants, 15. Bob Gibson with 14. Billy McCool with 14 for the Reds. Save lead, tied. Art Fowler of the Giants, Wade Wilhelm of the Braves, 39 apiece. Followed by Ed Roebuck, Ron Peranowski, Roy Face. Top vote getters, season 6. Mickey Mantle, running away with it, 444 votes. I think the high home run totals and RBIs certainly help there. Rocky Colavito, Boog Powell, Roger Maris, Harmon Killebrew. AL Cy Young, another runaway, Whitey Ford, well above the totals for Chuck Estrada, Ralph Terry, Jim Bouton, Bill Fisher. NL MVP goes to Frank Robinson over Ken Boyer, Jim Gentile, Hank Aaron, Dick Allen. NL Cy Young goes to Sandy Koufax over Eddie Fisher, Juan Marichal, Bob Gibson, and Dennis Bennett. All right, let's look at our special events for season number 6. Well, the Yankees are just utterly dominating this particular replay. Not totally unexpected, but I guess I thought some of the NL teams would put up a bit more of a fight. It seems like they're topping out around 89, 90 wins every season, so nowhere near the high 90s to low 100s that the Yankees are putting up yearly here. Just not going to get it done. So we did have the one season where the Orioles beat out the Yanks, but I think those are going to be few and far between here coming down the stretch. as we move toward our 10 season criteria. So let's see, we've got, scroll a bit. Triple plays, 3, 6, 9 of them. Okay, it's a little more than we've seen. Home runs, 3 homer games. Rocky Colavito, Schaefer. I have to double check Schaefer there. Twins, it's a fill-in. Harmon Killebrew, Mickey Mantle. I think that's Jim King. Mantle again. Del Crandall. Jimmy Schaefer. Let's double check. Mantle. Jay Schaefer. Yeah, I think it's Jimmy. All right. So hits. Billy Williams, 6 hits in a game there. RBIs, runs scored, steals. Willis with 3. Maury Wills, sorry, Wills, 3 steals. Errors, don't care. Cycles, 2 cycles. Inside the park, 6 of those. Strikeouts in a game, 14 for Joey J, 14 for Dennis Bennett, 17 for Jim Maloney. You know what? That might be our high here for, let's take a quick look at that. 17K game. Jim Maloney, he struck out 17 Phillies. Let's look at the Phillies lineup. 1 fill-in, Doug Clemens, but he only struck out once. We got 3 Ks of Savage, and I think it's Ted Savage, Pancho Herrera, and there's a Jimmy Coker, 3. So Frank Robinson, big game there. Tommy Harper, homer. And there's Maloney's line. 9 innings, 17 Ks. All right, so, and 1 no-hitter. Glenn Hobby of the Cubs throws a no-hitter against the Reds. Let's look at the game summary. 1 strikeout, 4 walks in 9 innings. Here's your 4 walks. Flood, Robinson, Joe Adcock, Felix Torres, I believe. Only 1 strikeout. Johnny Edwards. For the Cubs, Smokey Burgess, 2 hits, 2 RBIs for Will. Bob Will. Banks with an RBI. Glenn Hobby, no hitter. ERA improves to 5.16. Wow. All right. That concludes season number 6. Season 7 coming right up. Oh, look at that. The Orioles, 100 victories. They get their 2nd point here. So Yankees with 5 points, Orioles with 2 through 7 seasons. Orioles with a 269 run differential, Yankees with 196. They came up 8.5 games short. Tigers and Red Sox above 500. Let's see. National League, Cardinals 6.5 ahead of the Braves. Giants and Cubbies above 500. Let's look here. All right, batting leaders. Floyd Robinson of the Indians, 317, takes the batting crown over Frank Torrey, a fill-in for the A's, 316. Carl Yastrzemski at 311. Ted Williams of the Sox, 308. Al Kaline, Tigers, 303. Mickey Mantle, 58 circuit clouts, leading the way. 4 better than Boog Powell. And Roger Maris, third for the Indians, 45. Jimmy Hall of the Twins, making another appearance on the leaderboard with 39 jacks. And Teddy Ballgame, 35. Boog Powell, RBI lead, 147. Mickey Mantle, 130. Bill Moose Skowron, 110. Roger Maris, 107. Brooks Robinson, 102. NL batting. Frank Robinson, 338. Taking the title from Roberto Clemente, 335. George Altman of the Cubs finishing with a 330. And actually 3 Cubs teammates in a row, Altman, Billy Williams, and Lou Brock. And that's how the Cubs finished above 500 there. All of these guys had a good year. And then along with Banks and Santo. So pretty stout offense for the Cubbies. Home run lead and RBI lead, Jim Gentile, 52 and 135. Runner-up, Willie Mays, 48 121. Felix Mantilla with 40 jacks. Willie McCovey, stretch, 39. Ernie Banks, let's play 2, 37. Ken Boyer, third with 117 ribbies, tied with Frank Howard of the Dodgers. And Ron Santo checks in with 116 RBI. AL pitching lead, Hank Aguirre, 199. Jack Fisher, 245. Don Larson, 270. Dave D. Busher, 281. Ralph Terry, 282. Jack Fisher, 17 wins. Jim Bunning, Ralph Terry, 14 apiece. Bill Fisher, Ray Herbert, 13. Save lead, Billy Heft of the Tigers, 43. Better than Bill Daly, Dick Radatz, Tom Morgan, Wes Stock. NL pitching, Dick Ellsworth, 1.98. Another reason the Cubs finished above 500 there. Sandy Koufax next at 2.39. Lindy McDaniel of the Cardinals, 250. Billy Muffet of the Cubs, 262. Don Drysdale, 2.68. Win leaders, Sandy Koufax, 16. 15 apiece for Don Drysdale, Dick Ellsworth, and Billy Muffet. Mike McCormick with 14. And McDaniel, save lead, 37 for the Cards. Peranowski for the Cubs, 36. Wilhelm, Fowler, and Face. Top vote getters, Mantle, 392 over Boog Powell, Brooks Robinson, Roger Maris, Bill Skowron. AL Cy Young, Jack Fisher, Billy O'Dell, Ralph Terry, Hank Aguirre, Ray Herbert. NL MVP, Willie Mays over Gentile, Santo, Robinson, and Williams. And NL Cy Young goes to Koufax, only 5 votes better than Dick Ellsworth. And then we had Billy Muffet, Don Drysdale, and Mike McCormick. Alrighty, so through 7 seasons, we're going to check out our special events here. All right, well, the Orioles are making it at least a little bit interesting here, but they'd have to win 3 more in a row to tie the Yanks and force extra innings here. Although, actually, I think in my methodology I said the first team to 4 wins, so I might actually just have to give it to the Yanks here and just play out the string. But still be interesting if the Orioles can mount some type of charge here, or if anybody else can even come up with a single season victory here. But let's check out our special events for season 7. Got 5 triple plays. I got a bunch of 3-homer games. Oh, I think I see a 4-homer game there too. All right, Throneberry, fill in for the Cubs with 3. Is that Marv or is that Faye? Are there any other Throneberries out there? Marv Throneberry, 3-homer, 3 for 5, 3 homers, 7 RBIs. All right, Gene Freeze, Stan Musial, Jim Landis, Luke Powell, Mickey Mantle, Dick Stewart, Ed Bouchie, Smith, probably Fuzzy Al Smith. Mantle, 4-homer game right there. We'll check that out in a second. And Maris, 3-homer game. So let's see Mantle's 4-homer game. Five for 5, 4 homers, 6 RBI. And I thought it said that Tiant threw a complete game for the Indians, which is interesting considering the Yankees trounced them 12-3 here. Maris hit his 35th in this game. There's Mantle's line, 4 homers. Skowron and Tresh also homering. Yeah, look at that. Tiant took a beating. I guess the bullpen wasn't available, or I don't know what happened there, but man, he got trashed. Gave up 6 homers in the game. Let's look at the scorecard. Mantle, homer in the first, single in the second, homer in the fourth, homer in the sixth, homer in the 8th. Wow. Alrighty. That's the Mick for you. Steals, Maury Wills, Louis Aparicio. 3 stolen base games. Cycle, 2 of them. Davis and Stargell. In the park homers, 6 of them. Strikeout games, a bunch of guys with 12, one with 13. And no hitters. We will press forward with season number 8 here. Store that from backup. Oh, the Yankees just blew everything up here. 114 and 41. 25 game lead over the Orioles. 415 run differential. That's insane. Indians third with 82 victories. Everybody else sub 500. Kansas City A's 109 losses. All right, there we go. 97 wins for the Giants. A very respectable year, as did the Redbirds. Both decent run differentials. Almost got to 100 wins, but it would not have even come close to the Yankees in this particular season. Cubbies, 83 wins. Braves, 81. Everyone else below 500. All right, AL batting. Norm Cash, Mickey Mantle, 336. Virtual tie. We'll split the batting crown in half, I guess. I don't know how they do that. Al Kaline, 329, finishing third. Floyd Robinson and Carl Yastrzemski. And we've got Mantle, 72 home runs. 72. 160 RBIs. Incredible. Runner-up, Boog Powell, 51 and 136. That would probably be an MVP year in most seasons. Not even close here. Colavito, 46 homers. Norm Cash, 45. Roger Maris, 41. RBI lead after the top two. We've got Tresh, the Yankees, 125. Norm Cash, 113. Tony Oliva, 107. NL batting, Wally Moon, another batting title, 323, slightly better than Hank Aaron, 320. Orlando Cepeda, 319. Dick Allen at 318. And Billy Williams, 316. Hank Aaron, 57 round trippers. That's 11 better than Willie Mays. We got Willie McCovey of the Giants next with 45. Ernie Banks, 43. Jim Gentile with 40. Gentile leading the league with 123 ribbies, one better than Aaron and McCovey. Ernie Banks next, 121. Mays with 116. Pitching leaders, Dean Chance of the Orioles, 1.86. Whitey Ford next, 207. Joe Horlin, Gary Peters, both of the White Sox, and then Milt Pappas of the Orioles. Whitey Ford, 23 victories, leading the way. Sonny Siebert of the Indians next with 22. Lou Burdett of the Yankees, 16. Don Larson of the Orioles, and Jim Bouton. Pitching lead, Bill Daly, Dick Radatz, 38 apiece. One better than Tom Morgan of the Yankees. Wes Stock of the Orioles, and Billy Heft of the Tigers. NL pitching, Billy McCool, 1.78, takes the ERA title in the National League over Sandy Koufax, Dick Ellsworth, Don Drysdale, Gaylord Perry. Win lead, Mike McCormick, 19, over Denny LeMaster, Dick Ellsworth, Sandy Koufax, Ray Sadecki. Saves got Ron Peronowski and Hoyt Wilhelm with 38 apiece, followed by Art Fowler, Lindy McDaniel, and Ed Roebuck. Top vote getters, Mickey Mantle, no surprise there, 470. Tommy Tresh, a very distant second. Boog Powell, Norm Cash, Johnny Callison. AL Cy Young, Whitey Ford, over Sonny Siebert, Lou Burdett, Don Larson, Jim Bouton. NL MVP goes to Hank Aaron, nearly 50 votes better than Willie Mays, Ernie Banks, Willie McCovey, Ron Santo. NL Cy Young, Mike McCormick, Denny LeMaster, Dick Ellsworth, Sandy Koufax, Ray Sadecki. All right, let's go to our reports, special events. Season number 8 in the books. Let's see if anything really cool happened here. All right, here we go. Scroll down a bit. And here we go. Triple plays, 6 of them. Home runs, Ernie Banks, Lou Brock, Boog Powell, Leon Daddy Wags Wagner, Lou Clinton, and Hank Aaron. 3 homer games. Hits. Ed Bailey of the Reds, 6 hits in a game. Okay. Stolen bases. Maury Wills, 3 steals in the game. Did it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Did 3 steals, and 1 time here he did 4 steals. Actually, Wills did 3 steals again there. So Weiss of the White Sox was the only other guy to do a 3 stolen base game in this particular season replay. 4 players hit for the cycle. 6 with inside the park homers. Strikeouts in a game. 13 by Whitey Ford was the tops here. All right, going to season number 9. Okay, bringing up season number 9. The Yankees have been dominant thus far. Let's see, Orioles hanging tough, but really nobody else is mounting a challenge here. Yankees 104, and that's going to go to the Yankees, another one. All right, so they're ahead 7 points to 2, I believe. Run differential positive 293. Orioles, like I said, hanging in there, 13.5 back though. Indians, Twins above 500. The rest of the American League out of contention. National League, got the Giants 7 games ahead of the Dodgers, plus 149 run differential, pretty good. Other end of the spectrum, we got the Pirates, 98 losses, minus 218, not so good. Besides the Dodgers, the Braves 8 back, Cubs 10 back, and the Cardinals above 500 as well. All right, let's look at our leaderboard. Carl Yastrzemski taking the batting title, 338, a couple points ahead of Norm Cash. Jim Pearsall, Harry Bright, who was a fill-in for the athletics squad, and Floyd Robinson. All right, wrong Floyd. Let's get that corrected. Okay, Mickey Mantle, home run and RBI crown, 56 and 131. Roger Maris, the Indians, 49, 7 back of Mantle. Jimmy Hall, 47. I think that's his top output that I've seen here. Rocky Colavito with 45. Harmon Killebrew, 42. RBIs, Jimmy Hall, runner-up to Mantle, tied with his teammate Killebrew. Colavito, 4th. Maris, 5th, 99. NL batting, Joe Torre, batting title, 346. Just a few points ahead of Vada Pinson on the Reds. Wally Moon, Billy Williams, and Hank Aaron. Home run crown, Willie Mays, 45. Ernie Banks with 40. Aaron, Frank Howard, Frank Robinson. RBI lead, Ken Boyer, 142. Ernie Banks, 123. Willie Mays, Frank Howard, Hank Aaron. AL pitching, Hank Aguirre, 178, Don Larson, Lou Burdett, Joe Horlin, Camilo Pascal. And win leaders, we've got Don Larson with 18 for the Orioles, Whitey Ford with 17 for the Yanks. We got Camilo Pascual, Hank Aguirre, Joe Bonikowski. Save lead, Wes Stock of the Orioles with 40, ahead of Tom Morgan, Bill Daly, Billy Heft, and Barry Latman. NL pitching, Don Drysdale 2.23, also the win leader with 17. Juan Marichal 2.27, just barely behind Drysdale. And same with Billy McCool, Gaylord Perry, and Maury Stevens. Drysdale 17, Perry, Williams with 16, Jackson and Marichal. Save lead, Roy Face, Hoyt Wilhelm with 39 apiece, Art Fowler 38, Ed Roebuck, Ron Peranowski. And top vote getters for the MVP and Cy Young, AL MVP Mickey Mantle once again, Jimmy Hall runner-up, Rocky Colavito, Harmon Killebrew, Norm Cash. AL Cy Young, we've got Whitey Ford, Hank Aguirre, Camilo Pascual, Don Larson, Lou Burdett. NL MVP, Willie Mays over Hank Aaron, Frank Robinson, Ron Santo, Ernie Banks. And NL Cy Young goes to Don Drysdale ahead of Gaylord Perry, Stan Williams, Juan Marichal, and Larry Jackson. All right, let's take a look at the special events from Season 9. A clear runaway victory for the Yankees here. We just have to see how Season 10 shakes out, but it's not going to matter in that respect. The Yankees with 7 points right now are definitely going to clinch that title. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of when, the outcome is kind of a foregone conclusion, so uh, I like when there's a little more variety. So the Yankees dominating every year, not really my cup of tea. But just the amount of talent that they were able to acquire back in the 50s and 60s, even prior to that, you know, pretty incredible. All right, triple plays. We had 3 of them. 3 homer game. Norm Cash, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Roger Maris, Camille. I think there's a couple Camilles, so I'll double click on that one, double check that. He's a fill-in for the A's here. Ted Williams, Billy Williams, Carey. I'll take a look at that one as well. And there's a couple of Sherrys. I'll take a look at that guy. Bill Skowron and Mickey Mantle. So what did we say we're going to look at? Camille. Let's see who this was. Calavito. D. Camille. I think it's Doug. just gonna have the last names. All right, I'm gonna go with Doug Camilli there. Carey. Andy Carey. All right, 4 for 5, 3 homers, 5 RBIs. Nice game. Sherry. Norm or Larry? Norm. Norm Sherry. There we go. 4 for 5, 3 homers, 7 RBIs. Yep. Okay. All right. Well, just like to make sure. Don Budden, 6 hits. Two guys hitting for the cycle here. George Altman, Dick Allen. In the park homer, 6 of those. Strikeout games, nobody really better than 12 here, so we're going to skip that. And we got a no-hitter. Jones for the Indians throws a no-hitter against the A's. Let's see what we got. Sam Jones, electric stuff in pinpoint command. No hits, no runs, 11 strikeouts, and 3 walks. So who got on base for the Athletics? Dick Green, Frank Torrey as a fill-in, and Doug Camilli in shade walk. Indians only scored the 1 run. Billy Moran, RBI, and a stolen base. Herb Score pitched well, took the loss. Sam Jones improved to 7-4 with his no-hitter. So a nice effort by Mr. Jones. All right, let's go take a look at season 10. It's official. The Yankees winning 8 out of 10 seasons, taking the Hardball Retro 1960 through 64 season replay by an 8-2 margin over Baltimore. The Yanks in this particular season led the Orioles by 16.5 games. The Yankees with a plus 224 run differential. The Indians above 500. The White Sox finishing 500. And the rest of the American League sub 500. National League, we got the Giants again, 92 victories, 104 run diff. Ahead of 8.5 ahead of the Redbirds here. And the Bucks barely above 500. Everybody else sub 500. All right, let's look at the leaderboard. Norm Cash claiming the batting crown with a 349. Ahead of Bill Muscaurin for the Yanks, Vic Wertz of the Tigers, Minnie Mignoso, and Tito Francona. Mickey Mantle, 56 round trippers, 1 better than Cash, 4 better than Maris. And we have Killebrew and Boog Powell rounding out the top 5. Norm Cash, RBI lead, 149 to 137 over Mantle. Maris third, 129, then Skowron and Boog Powell. NL batting, Roberto Clemente taking the batting title with a 329 average. Beta Pinson runner-up again, 322. Dick Allen, Stan Musial, Orlando Cepeda Home run lead, Billy Mays, 45. Frank Howard, 41. Eddie Matthews, 40. Felix Mantilla, 38. And Dick Stewart, 38. RBI lead, Frank Howard, 134 over Ken Boyer, Dick Stewart, Orlando Cepeda, and Willie Mays. AL pitching lead, Billy Pierce, 211. Lou Burdett of the Yankees, 226. Gary Peters, Don Larson, Whitey Ford. Bill Stafford leading the way with 23 victories. Pierce second with 18. And Eli Gerba, Don Larson, Gary Peters. Save lead, Bill Daly of the Indians, 38. Wes Stock, Mike Fornellis, Dick Radatz, and Tom Morgan. NL pitching, Don Drysdale, 1.59 ERA. Billy McCool next with a 2.23. Warren Spahn, Juan Marichal, Jim Brosnan. Wins difficult to come by in this particular replay. Eddie Fisher, Juan Marichal of the Giants, both with 16. Drysdale, Friend with 15. And Mike F. McCormick with 14. Ed Roebuck leading the way with 36 saves over Art Fowler, Hoyt Wilhelm, Roy Face, and Sammy Ellis. Top vote getters, Norm Cash. Edges out Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris, Harmon Killebrew, Tom Tresh. AL Cy Young goes to Bill Stafford, well ahead of Billy Pierce, Don Larson, Gary Peters, Eli Gerba. NL MVP, Willie Mays over Frank Howard, Ken Boyer, Orlando Cepeda, Dick Allen. Don Drysdale and Juan Marichal tie for the Cy Young Award, and only 5 votes better than Eddie Fisher, Warren Spahn, and Bob Friend. Okay, let's go to our special events, and then we'll wrap this up. We will look at the encyclopedia reports briefly as well. Gotta remember to do that here. But let's do this first. The Yankees with a resounding victory, 8 points to 2 over Baltimore. Nobody else really in serious contention here. All right, scroll down to our first stop, which is triple plays. There we go. 6 triple plays. 3 homer games. Jimmy Hall, Dick Stewart, Dr. Strangelove, Chuck Segian, Harmon Killebrew, Dick Stewart, Mickey Mantle, Charlie Maxwell, and Leon Daddy Wags Wagner with 3. No 4 homer games here. 6 hits in a game. We have Frank Howard, Vada Pinson, and Jim Gentile. Skip that. Stolen bases, Maury Wills. Cycle, 2 cycles, 2 in the park homers. Strikeout game, 14-14. Maloney and Koufax of 14. 2 no-hitters. Zanny for the Giants and Sparma for the Tigers. Let's take a look. Dom Zanny. Allowed a run, 7 strikeouts, and 7 walks in 9 innings. And a 4-1 victory for the Giants over the Cardinals. The Cardinals had many walks there, 2 by Geiger, 2 by Gene Oliver. Giants home runs by Bob Chance, Willie Mays, John Orsino. There's Zanny's line. Not the cleanest no-hitter, but it's still a no-no. And yeah, the Cardinals didn't have any fill-ins or anything, so this game by Zanny. We have Joe Sparma with a 3-0 no-no against the Athletics, so we know the Athletics were a bit challenged here. 1, 2, 3 fill-ins in the starting lineup. Hey, there's Tony La Russa. I mean, a couple decent players, obviously. Hector Lopez, Nelly Fox, Clete Boyer, Dick Green, walks by Carmel, Fox, Brian, Green, Russo, 6 walks. Wow, okay. For the Tigers, a couple of hits out of Harvey Keene, a couple of RBIs here. Not much to look at there. Sparma. 9 innings, no hits, 6 walks, 7 strikeouts. All right, so that's that game. Let's look at our reports here. And what were we going to look at? Career leaders, probably. Yeah, I can look at the franchise standings overall. I mean, clearly, the Yankees with the 640 winning percentage, the Orioles 577, well behind, and the Giants, the top NL team, at 557. Let's look at the career leaderboard. And I want to make sure it should be 3,000 and 1,000 for my minimum plate appearances and innings. All right, so Norm Cash leading the way in the overall replay with a 345 average. Tommy Davis second at 323. We got Yaz, Pinson, and Clemente up there. Cash leading the way with the on-base percentage. Top slugger was Mickey Mantle. Boog Powell, runner up there. Cash edges Mantle in OPS. Not too concerned in a couple of those categories. So since we did a 10 season replay, we can just divide these by 10. So Mantle averaging 54 homers a year. Gentile 44, 45, depending on how you want to round it. Maris 41. Mantle averaging 120 runs. Cash second with 102 RBI. Mantle averaging 126 per year. Boyer 119, Gentile 115, and so on. And Wills 47 steals, 48 maybe. Brock almost 200 hits per year, just a shade under that. Tony Oliva next. Brooks Robinson up there. Billy Williams, Vada Pinson, all better than 190 hits per year. Strikeouts, doubles, Floyd Robinson, 44 doubles a year. Santo, 13 or 14 triples. Wow, okay. Mantle, 129 walks per year. Pretty incredible. And we're going to ignore some of these other categories. career pitching leaders. Again, a lot of relievers pitching multiple innings back in the day. So you got Hal Woodishick, Stu Miller, Hank Aguirre, and then you finally have a full-time starter in Koufax, 2.57. There's Billy McCool. Wins leaders, Ford with 15 per year. Radotz, 36 saves a year. McCool, 185 Ks. Koufax next. Home runs allowed, hits per 9, so on and so forth. All right, I think that's going to wrap it for us here. Keep an eye out for our additional, let's see, the next ones are going to be going backwards in time here. So the 55, 59 will be up next, so keep an eye out for that. And in the meantime, keep playing ball. We'll see you soon. Take care.